Today we're doing distance, speed, and time. Your homework is all. Tomorrow we're in the spider lab. And then on Monday we come back. I'm going to give you a short little quiz on Monday before I start teaching you the new stuff. I'm not sure if I told you this yesterday, but your test is basically your homework problem. So whatever your homework problems were on interest, commission, markup, they're going to be exactly the same. So if you've been doing your homework and you feel comfortable with the problems on your homework, that's going to be your quiz on Monday. And I just recorded it so you know. All right. I need a little triangle thing. All right, we did time, we did distance. Okay. So, let's see. All right, who did I choose? I chose Val, who is not on Run Strong. I chose Geo. All right, so today is 123, 25, and we're doing distance, speed, and time. So in our triangle, our Dorito Man, round 2, we have distance divided by speed times time, right? So when you're taking your test, you can always write this down on your test so you have it there. When you're taking your state test, you can't have this with you on your state test, but you can certainly draw it and have it there. Ben, let's just power down. No need to have it on. All right. Darwin traveled a total of 632 miles in 8 hours. Okay, Darwin traveled a total of 632 miles in 8 hours. What am I going to ask you? So what does 832 miles represent? Distance. What does 8 hours represent? Time. So what are you missing? Speed. So how would I ask for speed? How fast?
Distance divided by time.
How fast was he going? So was he going over the speed limit?
Yes.
So if I'm looking for speed, I do my triangle. Take my triangle. What letter am I going to cover up? S. What math is shown?
Distance divided by time.
Distance divided by time. So, question?
How, like, whatever one's not in the word problem, that's just when you do. So
Yeah.
speed wasn't in there, so you do speed.
That's one way of looking at it. It's like, what information do they give me? The one that they don't give me, obviously I'm going to solve for it, right? Because sometimes it gets kind of confusing, like, what am I doing? Okay, 632 miles. Make sure you use the units, because then when you're about to use the units in your answers, they're already there. So I have 632 miles divided by 8 hours, so I show my work. All right, divide it out. Oops. 632 divided by 8. 632 divided by 8. Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. What'd you get?
I got 70.3.
No. What did you get?
79.
Yeah, you should get 79, period. Now, my units. This is where kids will get things wrong. My trick to you, if any words repeat, cross them out. So do any of these words repeat?
No.
Which words repeat?
S.
Words. Not letters, words. So do any of them repeat?
No.
Nope. So we say our speed is 79.
Miles per hour.
Is there any other way to figure that out?
Can you just do NPH?
Yes, you can do MPH. Is the units? Not really. And I only noticed that, like, if the words repeat, cross them out, like a couple years ago. As a teacher, I'm like, oh, wait. If the words repeat, cross them out, and that eliminates. I used to teach it, it's like, you should know what the units are. I didn't know how to teach it. And then I'm like, oh, I get it. If they don't repeat, use them all. And it's hard for kids to understand, because sometimes the kids will be like, okay, what's your speed? 75 miles. And it's like, are those the correct units for speed? 75 miles. And they'll be like, 79 miles. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, no, we measure speed in miles per hour, inches per hour, inches per minute, things like that. So it's hard for kids to understand units.
So you're only going 79 miles every hour.
On average, yes. That's what the miles per hour mean at speed limit. So for an hour, I should only be traveling 79 miles. On the streets, you can only travel, I think it's 35 miles per hour.
The highest, I think the highest you can travel is
60.
45?
I've seen people. I've seen
Children.
people go like 95 on the streets.
Is this 25?
I have.
It does, Gregory. Very
People who
good.
run from the cops, I've seen them go like 95.
So,
GTA.
okay. All right. Vanessa, you see you're going to pass your driving test?
Oh, we totally are.
Okay.
Actually, no.
All right. So, school zone, Gregory has it right, 25 miles per hour. The reason it's lower for schools areas, Ben, is they're calculated a speed that if a child were to run across the road, the car would have hopefully a slower speed, so it would be able to stop. So if there was no speed limit around a school and we would all be driving 60, 70 miles per hour and all of a sudden there's a kid in the road, you wouldn't have enough time to stop. So in a residential and then in a school zone, it's a lot lower. In a parking lot, it has a speed limit. On a freeway, all different areas depending where you're driving has a different speed limit.
My mom said that there's also speed limit on like normal roads because if somebody were to jaywalk, you should be going slow enough to stop before you can
It's like they're breaking the law, but I gotta make sure I don't run them over.
I thought jaywalking was legal now.
It is. Well, it used to be you only could cross the street at a corner in a designated area. Now, if it's safe, you can cross the street like in the middle of the street.
I cross the street down there. Like if you go down there, after the light over here, I just cross it right there.
Great, that's great, that's great. That's great. All right,
A car tried hitting me. I'm like,
You probably stopped it.
Alana ran at a speed of 6 miles per hour, average. So if I give her a whole hour, Alana can run about 6 miles for 3 hours.
I do that in 30 minutes.
So what is she?
It's distant. Like,
How do I ask?
how far did she go?
How far did she go? So, because she's running for 3 hours, is she gonna have the same speed when she starts
No.
and when she ends? She's gonna slow down, right? Because she's running for 3 long hours. So that's why this number might be lower, because she might start off real strong and have a higher speed as she goes, but then when she's closing in on 3 hours, obviously her speed's gonna decrease. So on average, her speed is 6 miles per hour. All right. All right, Gregory, we have a lot of wind out there, so it affects us differently. Okay, so how far is distance? Distance is equal to, take your triangle, what letter am I going to cover up? D. So what's the math?
speed times
Speed.
speed times time.
Good. Speed times time. So, here in this situation, what's our speed?
6 miles per hour.
6 miles per hour. So write it down with units, my young students, with units. What's my time?
3 hours.
Okay. So the math is easy. What's 6 times 3? 18. 18. Hours. Multiplication per. And so what's left over? Miles. So how many total miles does she run for 3 hours? 18 miles. What part?
The unit.
So you see how there's H for hours and there's hours here, so they cancel each other out. So if the words repeat or the initials repeat, hours, you cross them out. I could spell this out for you, miles per hour, and then this is hours. But basically, if they repeat, they repeat. All right, who is, huh? The P with the multiplication. Because you're not going to say miles per, right? That doesn't sound weird. That sounds weird. So the per kind of.
And like, doesn't the per already stand for like division?
So the division and multiplication cancel each other. Well, kind of like when we were solving equations. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. They cancel each other out. Juan walked. Juan and Ben walked for 20 miles.
Why not?
Well, because Ben was smirking up here, so I said, you know what, we're going to add Ben to the word problem.
That's crazy.
At a speed of 2 miles per hour.
Why are you laughing?
I know. It's a walk. Okay. Ben and Juan walked for 20 miles at a speed of 2 miles per hour. So it's a nice brisk walk.
I did that as you were.
Good. All right. What am I going to ask you? Distance, 20 miles. Time. So how do I ask for time? Good. I heard it in the back as well. How long did it take?
Did you take them?
Yeah. Did it take them to walk the 20 miles? Okay. So I'm solving for time. So I take my triangle. What letter do I cover up?
The T.
The T. So what math is left?
Distance divided by speed.
So time is equal to distance divided by speed. Now use your units. So what's my distance?
2 miles.
That's my distance. 20, and then I write the miles next to it, right? Then what's my speed? My speed is 2 miles per hour, so 2 miles per hour. Okay, I spelled it all out for you guys. Okay, the math is easy. I'm not worried about the math. I'm worried about the units in these problems. Hence, what's 20 divided by 2? 10. So we all know it's 10, right? Again, I'm not worried about doing the math. I'm worried about the units. So, do you see what repeats? Well, the miles. So, cross them out. You don't use them. If they repeat, don't use them. The division and the division.
Oh, yeah.
10 hours.
So, their time is 10 hours. It's kind of like those word problems that you guys read, like, Sandy bought 578 watermelons at the store. And you're like, why is Sandy buying 5,000 watermelons? Like, don't worry about the cost per watermelon. Why? Ask yourself, why is Sandy buying so many watermelons?
So she's gonna eat them.
Why is Samantha's house 3 centimeters wide?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why? The word problem makes no sense, right?
I saw an Alex question where like something is on sale for 95% off.
Really? All right. Okay, we're going to do this one. Just pass back 2. I gave you 2 minutes. Just pass back 2. I gave you 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
You get the ground one.
For 10 hours.
I know, if it's just easier for me to, like, give you a stat.
Bro, Darwin, shit.
Oh, that is.
Okay, Gregory, Darwin. We're still recording, so if I didn't hear it, I know the audio picked it up. Thanks, Miss Vanessa. All right. So, the number one thing about this is the units, okay? They ask you very clearly what they want. So, Jason rides his bicycle for 3 hours at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. So K/H is kilometers per hour. What distance does he travel? So I love this worksheet as our first worksheet because it tells you exactly what you're solving for. Distance. Okay? When Miss Vanessa and I grade your paper, what's the number one thing we're looking for?
Unit.
The units. And then the math. Both, to be honest.
So how would you do that? You would just.
All right. Let's see. Go back to this. Okay. You should finish and upload this one front and back with units. Most of you are almost done. We'll continue checking in a second. The second worksheet that Gio will get in a few seconds, I think. I want you to do 3 speeds. So 1, 2, 3 of speed. So Gio, write this down. You're not going to do all of them. So circle 1, 2, 3 from speed. Circle those. Just want you to do number 6. Circle number 6. Multitask, multitask. 1, 2, 3, 6. 9, 10, 11. Did I not?
I got one. And so
So,
Wait, so 9, 10, 11, 6, and 1, 2, and 3?
and challenge if you're cool.